the question that I think people ask themselves, and we've done a ton of research and we recognize everyone has this question on their mind, especially when they come into capital, when they're going through a transition and they're like, great, now what do I do with my money? So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. The answer to that question, what do I do with my money, is always the exact same. And the answer is it depends, always. And so that's kind of the context with which people are struggling. They have a major question. They don't know how to answer it. How do you help them? And so the first thing you do to help them is to say, chill, relax, just understand that nobody has a one size fits all answer. And I think good advice recognizes that there's no one size fits all answer. It depends. It depends on so many pieces of context about you and your money. So when you think about values and you think about having your second part of your question, like when you align wealth with meaning, and how do you get there? How do you understand meaning? It's not necessarily a snap of the fingers and you know the answer to that question. There is a process. And the process is really helping somebody introspect, helping somebody go inside and do the self-discovery to understand what really matters to me. What brings me joy? What gives me fulfillment? When I think about how I want to spend my life, how I want to spend maybe the next 5 years, my future, what kinds of causes matter to me? What kind of contributions to my kids, if I've got kids, how do I want to support them in their lives? What does being a model to them look like? There's so many different ways to pull on the thread to understand what are your values, because a lot of times people answer these questions with very abstract terms. My
Mhm.
value is security. My value is freedom. My value is independence. Great. All of those are fantastic. But I think a good advisor, and in order to align your money with your value, you have to say more. I don't know if you guys listen to Esther Perel. I love it how she always says, say more.
Hmm.
Uh, and she's not in the money business. She is in the relationship business. But I think just the ability to be a very active listener and help somebody unpack that. Help somebody say, what do you mean when you say independence? Because two different people are going to have very different answers. 10 different people, very different
Right.
answers. When you say independence and you say you don't want to outlive your money, fine. Those are table stakes. That's kind of very generic. And so
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
you want to go deeper into understanding, what do you want to do with that money? When you say don't want to outlive your money, let's talk a little bit about how you want to live your life. Do you value travel? If you value travel, tell me more about that travel. Are you planning on taking an RV and going on a road trip? Are you planning on going up to your local lake? Are you going to go and spend 3 months at a time in Europe and living in, five-star hotels and, fine dining? They're very, very different, not only with the respect to the expense and how you have to support that budget, but also with respect to understanding what do they mean when they say they have these values? What is it that you can do to help them align their money with those values?